Good morning all. Today I am going to give you an introduction to electrical machines design. This subject plays a very important role in your BTech curriculum. You have already studied in your previous semesters about different types of machines. Basically electrical machines are classified into two: rotating machines and stationary machine. Rotating machines mainly consist of this motors and generators, and stationary machine mainly have the transformer. If you are looking into the construction and basic working principle of all these machines, basically all these machines consist of two types of circuits. One is electric circuit and the other is the magnetic circuit. So basically the design of electrical machines mainly involves the design of this magnetic circuit and this electric circuit, and definitely there will be some other cooling system, insulation system, all related or all associated with this. If you are looking into a DC machine alone, suppose the case of a DC motor, in the field system there is a field winding, then pole, core, pole, show assembly, all will be there, and in the electrical system you will be able to see the armature winding. So definitely you have to design this electric circuit as well as magnetic circuit independently. Similarly, if you are looking into the case of transformer, in transformer also electric circuit mainly involves of primary winding and secondary winding. Magnetic circuits consist of the iron core. So here also you have to design both this electric circuit and magnetic circuit independently. The design pattern which you are using for each machine will be unique. That means just like how you are designing DC machines, you cannot design the AC machine. So for each machine the design pattern is also unique. So it is very clear that basic design of an electric machine, which mainly involves that of design of its electric circuit, its magnetic circuit, and the other systems like cooling, ventilation, insulation systems and all associated with it. Let's look into the definition of design. Basically design can be defined as a creative physical realization of theoretical concepts. What all things you have learned in your theory, you will be physically realizing that, not just simply realizing it. In a creative manner you have to realize that. That is what an efficient design is meant to be. While coming to the engineering design, you have to apply the technologies, science and all you have already studied, so as to produce machines to perform a particular task in a cheap rate with maximum efficiency. So that is what an engineering design specifically design. This first point is depicting about the basic explanation of a design. That can be any design, but while coming to the engineering design, you have to apply the science and technologies you have already studied, so as to produce the machines according to the customer's requirements in economical and efficient manner. Is that clear? Okay. Now major considerations in a design. What are the major considerations? Definitely the cost must be minimum. Durability means the product which you are designing must be durable. And the third very important point is it must satisfy the requirements of the customer, or the specifications which is needed. Specifications which is needed and all, we will be seeing it in detail in the upcoming slides. Let's look into the basic structure of an electrical machine. As you all know, just like what we have explained in the previous slide, basically electrical machine consists of magnetic circuit, electric circuit, dielectric circuit, thermal circuit and mechanical parts. You can look into any machine, let it be a motor or generator or a transformer. In all these machines these parts will be definitely there. This five basic structures will be there. Magnetic circuit mainly involves that of core, yoke and air gap. In the case of transformer, the magnetic circuit will be the iron frame or the iron core. Okay, In the case of electric circuit, it will be stator winding, rotor winding, and in the case of transformer, it is transformer winding. Dielectric circuit will be the insulation. Thermal circuit will be the heating and cooling medium, and definitely the ventilation which you are providing also will come under that. Mechanical parts, you know, bearings, frame, shaft, all loads, systems and all which you are connecting to various types of machines, I mean rotating machines. The worst part in this design is a compromise has to be achieved between all this, that is magnetic circuit, electric circuit, dielectric circuit, thermal circuit and mechanical parts. All this, considering all this, because all this are interrelated in one or other ways. So while designing, it must be established that a perfect compromise must be achieved between all this. Suppose if you are trying to make the electric circuit very superior, then what happens? Means if you are trying to achieve the electric circuit in a more efficient manner, then what happens is you might not be able to achieve the magnetic circuit and dielectric circuit in the basic requirements. So what you have to do is you have to make a design in such a way that a compromise must be achieved between all this structure design. Then only you can say that the overall your design is a efficient one. Let's look into the major considerations in electrical machines design. First is magnetic circuit. So if you are looking into the design of magnetic circuit, you must ensure that you can easily produce the required amount of flux using the minimum value of MMF. You all are aware about the relation of flux. Phi is equal to MMF divided by reluctance. So from that relation, it's very clear that while designing a magnetic circuit, you must try to maintain a very low value of reluctance. Then only you will be able to achieve the required amount of flux using minimum MMF. Right. Another major constraint which you must look into is the core losses or the iron losses must be minimum. While designing the magnetic circuit, the iron losses must be maintained minimum. Iron losses is actually the sum of hysteresis loss and eddy current loss, and it must be maintained a minimum value. Next, let's look into the major consideration in electrical circuit. You all are very aware that whenever you are designing an electric circuit, the copper loss must be maintained minimum. So the design must be in such a way that I square R loss must be very small. And in the case of electrical machines, you also must ensure that the required EMF is induced in the windings. Windings means armature winding, or in the case of transformer, it will be the secondary winding and primary windings. So it also must be ensured that the proper functioning or the required EMF is being induced in the circuit without any complexity in the winding arrangement. Next, we are looking into the parameter insulation. Insulation is basically provided by, because you know that inside any machine there will be points of different potential. So in order to avoid any short circuit and all, definitely you have to provide proper insulation so as to separate between this points of different potential. Next, looking into the cooling system. Definitely cooling system means the ventilation system. So it should be ensured that the main consideration while coming with the ventilation system is the ventilation system must ensure that the machine is not getting overheated. And the last point is the machine parts. Definitely it should be robust one. So basically a successful design means a compromise must be achieved between the space constraint of this magnetic circuit, electric circuit, insulation and cooling system, and definitely the mechanical systems also. Not only the space constraint means electric circuit should not occupy the major portion of the machine, and magnetic circuit is occupying another major portion of the machine. It's not like that. A compromise in space constraints also must be achieved between all these parameters. Not only that, you must also ensure that the cost is maintained at minimum, and the operating and maintenance cost of or maintenance charges and operating cost also must be running cost. Operating cost mainly involves the running cost, and the maintenance charge also must be in a minimum manner. If you are taking all these things into effectiveness, then only you can say that you have designed a good machine, or you have a perfect design. Is that clear? Let's see the various limitations which are coming in the design of an electrical machine. First limitation is the saturation of magnetic parts. You all know the BH characteristics. So in the BH characteristics, it must be ensured that the electrical machines must be operated at a point very much close to the knee point. It should not be operated in the saturation region. Why? Because if you are operating a machine in the saturation region, definitely for a small increase in B, you have to increase the value of H by a large amount. So for increasing the value of H to a very large value, definitely you have to increase the value of MMF. So for a large value, for creating a large value of MMF, definitely, or for creating a very large excitation, definitely the field system cost becomes very expensive. So in order to reduce that, it is always ensured that electrical machines are operating at points very much close to the knee point, and it will never operate in the saturation region. Next major limitation is temperature rise. It must be always ensured that the temperature within the machine must be in permissible limits. Otherwise what happens is various insulating materials which are being used inside the machine, when it is getting exposed to high temperature, it's either it gets burned or gradually its life will be getting drastically reduced. So in order to avoid such problems, you have to ensure that the machine is having a proper cooling system or proper ventilation, so as to avoid the temperature rise above the limited values. Next, considering the insulation limitation, see, actually this insulation has to not only withstand the temperature rise, insulation is actually has to withstand this mechanical and electrical stresses also. So basically the insulations are designed considering only the temperature rise, because whenever you are designing an insulation, you will make sure that what's the temperature limit which it can withstand. You won't look into the factors of electrical stress or mechanical stress which it can withstand. So for an effective design, you must consider this electrical stress and mechanical stress also into consideration in addition to the temperature rise. Next major limitation is mechanical strength. Mechanical design mainly involves the length of the air gap. Length of the air gap means the distance between the stator and rotor. So this mechanical design mainly involves this length of air gap and size of shaft and all. So let's see the case of a induction motor. In the case of induction motor, the limitation which is coming into the picture is you cannot design the machine with a very large value of air gap. Why? Because when the length of air gap is large in the case of induction motor, definitely its power factor value will be very less, which is not a good characteristics of the machine. So in order to maintain its power factor value at a very high value, or in order to maintain its power factor at a high value, definitely the length of air gap has to be minimum. See, this is just an example which I have told. So similarly, certain limitations will be there while taking the mechanical consideration, while taking the mechanical features into consideration. Such sort of limitations will be definitely there, just like how I have mentioned in the case of induction motor. Next major limitation is the efficiency. For a machine to be highly efficient, its electric loading and magnetic loading, those two values you will be studying in detail in the next sessions. Okay, just now you just know this point. So for a machine to be a good efficient one, the values of this magnetic loadings and electric loadings should be small. So in order to make this value small, definitely you have to use a large amount of materials. So what happens is the overall capital cost of the machine will go very high. But the best part is, even though the capital cost is high, the running efficiency is quite nice. So definitely the running cost also will become low. So the limitations, the limitation which is coming into picture is, if you are trying to make a highly efficient machine, definitely what happens is its capital cost will be high. That is the major limitation which is coming while taking this efficiency parameter. Next is another important limitation, that is customer specifications. It is very difficult to achieve or it is very difficult to satisfy the requirements of a customer, because the customer requirements, the customers will be always adamant they want a machine to be like this. So it will be very difficult for you to convince them, or it will be difficult for them to understand why it can't be designed in particular manner. What happens if it is being designed in that particular manner according to their wish. So a compromise must be achieved there also. This next major limitation is commutation. It mainly comes into picture in the case of a DC machine. A commutation you have already studied in your previous semester. There is in electrical machines 1. It is actually the reversing of the current when the conductor is moved from this north polarity, moved from the influence of north polarity to that of the south polarity. You have already studied about it in detail in the machines 1. So this commutation is actually putting a limitation on the design of DC machine. The major limitation is in the case of a DC machine, you won't be able to design a machine with a power rating greater than 10 megawatt, because if the power rating is greater than 10 megawatt, means the conductor current also, that is the current which is flowing through the armature conductors also, will be very large in magnitude. In such a case, you won't be able to achieve proper commutation. So if the commutation is not proper, definitely it results in sparking and all, which gradually turns the machine to be a damaged one. Let's see the next major limitation, that is power factor. As you all know, the best value of power factor is 1, and all wish to maintain a very high value of power factor. Why? Because if you are not able to maintain a high value of power factor, definitely the magnitude of current will be very large. So in order to carry such a large value of current, the conductor size has to be increased. So as larger the conductor size, definitely the overall size of the machine also get increased, which is actually a limitation. So if you are looking, similarly if you are looking into the case of induction motor, you can in fact reduce the size of induction motor by maintaining a very large value of flux density, because flux density is actually B is equal to phi by A. So if you are able to maintain a very large value of B, definitely the value of A will get reduced. So overall size of the machine will be reduced. But the negative part is, you have maintained a large value of B, that is flux density. So what happens is definitely the machine will be operating in the saturation region. Thereafter the machine or the excitation system will be actually draining a large amount of magnetizing current from the supply, which results in a power factor. Actually what you try to achieve in the case of induction motor is, you try to make a induction motor which is small in size and definitely when the machine size is small, the cost also will be small. So you actually try to develop, or you actually try to design a machine, induction machine, which is small in size and the cost is also less. But what happened is, when you try to achieve those two parameters, the machine's power factor has become very poor. So that is the major limitation which is being pointed out here. Another major thing is standard specifications. You just cannot design a machine just by your wish. You have to strictly follow the specifications, just like there are numerous bodies who have developed these specifications, like NEMA and all, National Electric Manufacturers Association, ISA, ISO, like that. Numerous things have put some specifications and standards whenever you are designing a machine. So definitely you have to follow all those specifications. I have just put a nameplate of a electrical machine. See, here you will be able to see this NEMA nominal efficiency. What is actually this NEMA is? It is the specification which is being followed for this machine, and everything is mentioned in detail. See, the maximum ambient temperature, insulation system designation, rated load current. All this clearly explains how efficiently this particular machine has been designed, or how good this machine's design is. Hopefully all of you have got a introduction to electrical machines design. As we go on, this subject is going to get more problematic and all, and it's more interesting too. All must go through the slides I am sending to you, and this video session is also okay. Thank you.